guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Wesley Chapel Toyota because guess what? We have a special trim option for a 4Runner. This is the all-new 2020 4Runner Venture. It's actually based off of the TRD Premium, and it falls right below the almighty TRD Pro. So let's talk a little bit about Toyota and the 4Runner. The 4Runner has been that model that for many years hasn't been changed much. And what's crazy is there is a die-hard cult following of these 4Runners, especially when you look at values that they hold. It's better to buy a brand new one than one that's just a couple years old because of the value that these keep. But let's go ahead, dive into this 4Runner Venture and see what's different. So off the bat, I love the styling, especially in black. Very, very aggressive, very, very mean. Now, you still got that same headlight design that's been going on. Like I said, it has not been changed. You can see all the chrome reflection inside with the headlight housing. And overall, a very large design, but I do like the way it angles in towards the grille. We're zonking this. We got fake vents here. I wish that these were functional, but they do look good. It shows you the extra width of the front end of this vehicle. Of course, you're gonna get some nice lower fog lamps. And then as we come across the front of the grille, blacked out Toyota emblems. Really weird though, if you look, they have a texture here that looks like a golf ball. I'm actually gonna zonk that. I wish they would have just had that actually cut away. We drop down, you have some flat black on the grille design. I do like the flat black on the front bumper. And then of course you're gonna get that same great ground clearance. Now, one thing that's different from this Venture compared to the TRD Pro, it doesn't have the 1/4 inch thickness metal to protect the inner bits underneath. So that is something to take into consideration if you're gonna do some super ultra aggressive off-roading in this. But you do have the 2-speed transfer case and that locking rear differential. Now, when we go up onto the hood, overall I like it. It's got that very iconic hood scoop. The bad news is zonk filled. That's a zonk filled air scoop because no air actually flows through that. It's just for looks. It does look great. I wish that it had a little bit more functionality to it, but from the front, this thing is pure muscle aggression. Now, as we come around the bend, you're gonna see specific TRD forged aluminum wheels. They're actually lighter than your cast aluminum, and I like the gunmetal color. I think with the black, sets it off perfect. This is a 17-inch wheel, 265 on the width on the tires, 70 series sidewall, and you can see we're using those very capable Nitto all-terrain tires. It really is a great rock crawling type of tire, but yet you can still drive this every day and enjoy it, which is wonderful. Now, I like the painted Fender Flares that's been part of the look of the 4Runner. Going into the A-pillar, great iconic shape. They took that wonderful metallic black onto the mirrors, little tiny turn signal, a little bit of chrome. It's showing its age, but you know what? It's an enthusiast vehicle, and I like the look of it overall, to be honest with you. Of course, you're gonna get some running boards and that frame protection. So you have a nice little step for both the front and rear passenger, and then you're gonna get some frame protection from the larger part of the running board as you are going off-road. For the Venture, one thing that's been taken from the TRD Pro is you are gonna get the cargo basket up top, which is a great way to go camping, to go on that very long trip, and you could load up that top basket with tons of cargo. You still have your roof rails, as you can see, and of course the crossbars. That's how that attaches to the roof, but really gives it that wonderful look. Now, one thing on the Venture that they did was they stripped any of the 4Runner TRD off-road logos right off of the pillar here, but going into the back, you can see the sparkling of that beautiful black paint. We come to the rear of the 4Runner Venture, and what's fascinating, like I said, everything is blacked out and there's no actual Venture badge, which I think I'm kind of liking. There's really no reason to tell everybody that you have the Venture. I think those that see it will know it. Very low roof spoiler. I like the blacked out badging, Toyota badge, the 4Runner badge. We drop down, of course, you're gonna get full towing capability with this. And if you notice, very smart how Toyota just tucks that exhaust up. There's the exhaust tip right there, tucked up nicely. And this is also where your spare is gonna be tucked up. Locking rear differential, for that 4x4 action. Why don't we go ahead, pop the hood, and see what is the heart of this 4Runner. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. As you can see, I wasn't lying. That was a fake hood scoop. That's why we zonked it. Underneath the hood, you're gonna notice a very large plastic engine cover that actually has cups on it. So the great news is, if you're ever working on your 4Runner, you could actually put your beverages in those cup holders. But underneath that beverage holding engine cover is gonna be the good old tried and true 4-liter V6, 270 horsepower, 278 pound-feet of torque. It's all going through, you're not gonna believe this, but it's still there, 5-speed automatic transmission. Like I pointed out earlier, you're gonna have that 2-speed transfer case and the locking rear differential. This really is what people buy these vehicles for. They love this 4-liter V6. It gives you plenty of what you need when you're going off-road. The one thing about the Venture, remember, it doesn't have the full TRD Pro suspension, and that is where you're gonna cut some of that price. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this 4Runner Venture and see what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside the 4Runner. It's fascinating because there's a mixture of old school and now finally some new tech in the 4Runner. I know you're probably saying, well, Joe, before you go any further, how much is this 4Runner Venture? MSRP around $46,000. It's about $2,000 cheaper than a TRD Pro. If it was between you and I would just spend the extra $2,000 and get the TRD Pro. But let's see what you get for your money with the Venture. Now, to the door panels, I do like what's going on. They really brought in some nice soft material on the armrest. I like the red contrast stitching. You do have some gloss black on the door handle, and I know that's gonna bug the heck out of people because of the fingerprint issue, but very usable door panel. You got a top pocket there for your Snickers, and then down low is where you can put your super big gulp and a box of Jujubes. So that's really nice. And then really just overall a very rugged door panel for a rugged vehicle. Now you have this brushed aluminum look, which I actually really like, and I wish they would have put this on the door handles. Up top, this texture material is hard as a TRD rock that you're gonna drive over. You got your glove compartment, and then here's where we have some new tech. New for 2020 is this not 20 inch, that would be way too big, 8-inch infotainment system. You can see with our navigation, I'll go back to home. You do have Apple CarPlay, which is really wonderful, and of course, Amazon Alexa. Knobs are really smooth. They actually have a nice smooth action to them, but they are the good old school look and feel. Another thing for 2020 is you do have your start stop button. They still stayed the same with blower speed and then temp knobs for your AC. If you can't figure out how to operate this AC, you should not be driving a vehicle. Really, it's that simple. We come down, you got a little tiny cubby for chapstick, maybe a pack of gum or something, maybe like, I don't know, what are you chewing? Big Red or Bubblicious? I don't know. Flip that up, you got a USB here, and then we have 2 more USBs. These are added for 2020. That's why they sort of look at a place like they just plugged that in, because literally they did. We have a little cubby down here for that emergency Snickers if you're ever hangry. This is gonna help you operate your 4-wheel drive system in this, and that's really what sells these vehicles, is that if you're looking for something where you could do some real rock crawling, some super heavy duty stuff, this is one of the best in the business. This stick here is gonna be controlling your 5-speed automatic transmission. I really feel like the materials in the 4Runner, it's a little bit of a hodgepodge because you have carbon fiber, or I should say faux carbon fiber. We got black plastic, aluminum looking. Another thing that's fascinating is that one cup holder here, one cup holder there, and then a tiny little tray for some breath mints or something. Very interesting. Of course, you could stand up some Twinkies here, but old school layout by far. You do have heated seats, and you could drop the glass on that back hatch. That's probably one of the best parts of any 4Runner. Here is your standard Toyota key fob. Get ready for this. If you thought the front was bland, that's what you're getting. Lock and unlock and emergency. So showing you how total redesign has not fully happened yet. I do like the height of the armrest. It's a little on the harder side, but the height of it's nice. The red stitching is wonderful. You lift this up and you got great usability. You actually have a 12 volt in here, deep area. You could get your probably a good size of Doritos and drop those in and just munch away. Just make sure you have some wet wipes so you can clean your fingers. Seats, I love the TRD embroidery. We drop down, nice soft material, and overall very supportive and comfortable. Now with the Venture, you are going to get those all-weather mats on the floor, the 4Runner mats. You're losing a sunroof. So TRD Pro, you would get the sunroof, but here are the knobs that everybody loves. This is to control for your off-road system. So when you're going off-roading, you have that ability to, real simple, go into your different things to help you get to where you want to be without getting stuck. That's the key. Why don't you come on over though to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this 4Runner Venture. All right guys, business end, you do have your electric seat controls, easy to get to, really position it. It even has the nice lower lumbar. I'm 6 feet tall, you got plenty of space in here. That's the great thing. Like I was pointing out earlier, that rock crawl setup with this whole technology really makes it easy to get to where you could keep doing everything else that you need to be doing while you're behind the business end. Speaking of the business end, very large steering wheel. I do like the soft leather all the way around. This is all very dated. So you do have the gloss black on the steering wheel. This does come with, you know, all the Toyota sensing, the Sensing 2.0, lane keep assist, all that great stuff. And then another thing for 2020 is that dash setup. Very nice analog tach, analog speedometer. You do have that digital display in the center that you could toggle through all sorts of information. Look, you can even get steering angle displayed there. So really, really nice to have a lot of functionality out of one little gauge pod. Overall, you could really see them blending together the new 21st century tech with the old school feel. Let's check out the back seat and see how your passengers are going to love this 4Runner Venture. All right, guys, back seat time. Just like up front, you have a lot of headroom. Now, what's interesting, it's almost like stadium seating, so it gives you a nice view out the front as you are going off-road and whatnot. You can see you have leather all the way around the back. The one thing I don't like are these nets. I'm zonking the nets. They should have just went leather. You do have rear AC, and for the first time, they got you covered in 2020, 2 USBs in the back seat so that your passengers can actually film you and their phones will not go dead. Seating position is great. If you want to move the seat, it's a little awkward. There's like a tab over here, but you can see how the seats do recline. Very nice. And then floppy, the armrest. Soft material though. The problem is you're gonna have to be like this to really enjoy it, because if you're like this, you're not really resting your arm on it per se. So you're just gonna have to be chilling like a villain as you're going off-roading and whatnot. But you do have 2 cup holders, flops it right back. Why don't we check out that cargo area and see how much stuff you can put there for your next adventure. All right guys, tail on the business in the 4Runner. You push. If you're hoping for electric assist, keep hoping and praying and see how that works. You're gonna have to use your muscle. Once you open it up though, probably one of the most impressive of the tail end of the business in an SUV like this. You can see the amount of room that we have back here. I like the way that this comes with the all-weather floor mats. Very, very nicely done. We open this compartment. Let's see what's going on in these compartments here. You open this up, there's your jack and everything, nicely placed out of the way. Close that back up. On this side, they really took care of you because you have a 12 volt and you have a nice home power source. So think about the tailgating possibilities. Think about the camping possibilities. You're really gonna be well taken care of. You got some cubbies on the side. That's where you could have even more chips. So if you got that bag of Doritos and your passenger eats them all, have an emergency stash right there. You push the button and it closes? No. What are you thinking? It's not electric. You're gonna have to use your muscles. You close it up, but if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take this 4Runner Venture for a spin. All right, guys, we're in the 2024 Runner Venture. Right away, I don't know, when I get into one of these, I just feel like I'm in a really rugged machine, and I love the proportions of it. I like looking out over that hood. Yes, the bulge in the hood is fake. It's a pencil box. You could use it to put crayons and markers, but it looks good from the driver's seat, that's for sure. Very, very smooth. Of course, there's gonna be a little bit more road noise from those road tires, a lot of body roll, but that's to be expected. This thing is not about carving corners like you carve your Thanksgiving Day turkey. It's about rock crawling. That's what it's about. It's about going through terrain that everybody else is getting stuck in, and you're still going. So that's the nice feature about this, is you're gonna get that great off-road capability. Can you daily drive this? Sure. Is there plenty of room? Sure. And plus, now with the addition of the new tech, I think it makes it much more livable. It isn't for everybody though. If you're expecting everything that a lot of SUVs have in the 21st century, this just doesn't have it. I mean, it's not the smoothest ride over bumps, but it does have tons of personality, and I feel like you can't go wrong buying one of these because they hold their value so very well, and they're, of course, super dependable. I do like the new 8-inch infotainment system screen. It's very large, it's easy to read, easy to get to, and even though this doesn't have dual climate control, I do appreciate the large, simple controls that are located on this. Very, very nice. Guys, we're gonna take the 4Runner out on this highway. I'm gonna get on the throttle. That 5-speed drops down. Shifts are a little on the harsh side, but it is an older style transmission. You do get some pretty good pickup, and of course the torque is what you really, really want at the end of the day. Super smooth though on the highway. I'll tell you that right now. These seats are very supportive. Not like sitting on a bed of nails. I like the height of the armrest. The door panel's great. It's nice and soft. And you know, there's touches on this 4Runner that's what separates it from the rest of the SUV scene. And the capability off-road, you're really going to have to go Wrangler or Gladiator to get this kind of off-road capability that this 4Runner has. All right, guys, making a U-turn. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, on throttle. That 5-speed drops down. It is a little vicious when it drops down. Visibility though is great out the back window. As long as you don't have two tall Jones sitting in the center, you'll be fine looking out that back window. Side mirrors they're a little on the smaller side, but hey, they have really good visibility. And out front, it's really wonderful. I like the way the dash is very far forward, and the steering wheel has a great thickness to it. You really feel in control and comfortable in this 4Runner venture. All new trim. All right, guys, let me get back on throttle and see how she handles through the twisty bits here. Like I said, a bit of body roll, but as to be expected in this type of vehicle. Steering has a lot of play in it, but I think in an off-road situation, especially rock crawl, that's gonna pay you big dividends. Out here on the asphalt jungle, it's just a little bit different. But like I said, I just do this to kind of show you how the vehicle handles. I'm not saying that this is the intention or the purpose of this 4Runner venture, but still very, very smooth, very planted, feel good. And at the end of the day, I'll tell you one thing, from the outside, she's damn sexy. For an SUV, very rugged, very muscular, and I like that. But hopefully this gave you a nice overview of what this 4Runner venture is about. We're gonna get back to Wesley Chapel Toyota and wrap this one up, so I will see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been another wonderful time here at Wesley Chapel Toyota. Definitely gotta thank Jeff and the rest of the crew getting us access to this 4Runner venture. Something new, something different. They have a lot of different trims for this 4Runner. Like I said, I personally would spend the extra money and go TRD Pro if you're already at the $46,000 price point. But you know what? It does offer some uniqueness over the premium TRD off-road, to where you're going to be able to stand out and have something different and have some extra usability there. But if these are the types of vehicles that you want to see on Ready's Rise, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Ready's Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Ready's Rise merch. Got to give it up to Big Guns McGee. Tom Moschner, he agrees. A lot of times we disagree about certain things. He agrees. He's spending his money on the TRD Pro, Voodoo Color, or Army Green. Thank you, Tom, for all your hard work. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.